Greetings! I'm excited about working on the Writing Across curriculum project with you and Lisa. The number one requirement is using reputable sources. So we're going to be looking at scholarly, academic, and/or peer-reviewed sources. So let's do a quick review of these sources. Number one, the articles are written by experts in the field. So we'll be looking at the author's credentials, which are often listed in the article. Where do they work? Do they work at a hospital, maybe a research center, a university, a government agency? What is their title? A professor? Are they the head of the department? Are they an MD, medical doctor? Do they have a PhD? Number two, written in the language of the discipline. So we're going to be looking for experts in particular fields, such as medicine, education, business. And then these authors are going to be very transparent. They're always going to include their sources in the format of, it might be footnotes, it could be a bibliography, it could be a references page. In this example, the sources are listed on a references page, just like at the end of your papers, you have your works cited page. Your article may be original research, or it could be a review article. It will often contain experiments or theories. And then you'll notice it's divided into sections, such as an abstract and so forth. And let's go ahead and look at that article that we looked at, the references. You'll see an abstract, and then it goes down into introduction, and it keeps going through the different sections. Finally, your article may be peer-reviewed, so it was reviewed by experts in the same field as the author. This would be a great time to look at your handout from Lisa, and I've got something similar on the screen. I've got the 4 categories, and I did them each in a different color, mainly to make it easier for me. And you're going to select one field from each category. So for example, under sciences, I could select any of these, medicine, biology, chemistry, etc. Under social sciences, I'm going to select one of the fields, psychology, sociology. Moving on to business, again, I would select one. And finally, humanities, I would select one field. The easiest way to find the articles is using Summon. So I'm on the library homepage, and you'll see this little box here that says Start Your Research with Summon. I'm going down to the search box for Gillette College. Summon is a discovery service, and it brings in articles from most of the library databases, and it also has a special tool which will help us with this assignment. I can also get to Summon by opening up the Databases and Articles tab right there. I would open up A to Z, open up the letter S for Summon, and then scroll down this whole list and open up Summon Gillette. Okay, I'm on the library homepage. I'm in Summon, and I'm going to enter my search terms. And just as an example, I'm going to use computer games and go ahead and select search. If you open Summon Gillette from the A to Z list, it's going to look slightly different, just like this. Same thing. So don't worry about that. And you would type in computer games. Just a reminder, when you access library databases off campus, you're going to see this authentication screen. You're going to enter your username and password just like you do for my NWCCD. I'm going to highlight this though. Please don't put the @sheridan.edu after your username. If you do, it will block you out of the databases. If you're having problems, please send us an email, give us a call so we can troubleshoot with you. Finally, when you're off campus, I have seen this weird little gray box appear sometimes, and it will say off campus, login to access full text and more content. pretend it's not there. Don't click on the link. It'll just take you to a broken link. So just use the summon search box and ignore that, and everything should work out great. Please, again, don't hesitate to contact us if you're having problems. So I entered my search terms into Summon, computer games, and then this is going to be really important, and you also may want to refer to, I did a handout, and you can kind of follow along with that handout also. The first thing I'm going to do is select full text online. So I'm going to be able to access the entire article. If you select full text online and you're having trouble getting the article, contact the library because we might still be able to help you access the article. Once in a while there's an issue with Summon. Number 2, I'm going to select scholarly and peer review. So this covers both the scholarly articles and the peer review. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then the third step is I'm going to select a discipline. I'm looking at my category sheet from Lisa, and I decided to start with applied sciences, and I'm looking at that, and I think that I want to try education. So this is how I'm going to narrow in on my field. I'm going to select education. So quick review, I entered my subject. First I selected full text online, waited for that little ball thing to quit spinning. Next I selected scholarly and peer review. And then I moved on down to discipline and selected one of the fields from Lisa's sheet. And I decided to start out with applied sciences, and I selected education. Important note, you only want to pick one discipline at a time. Otherwise it's not going to work correctly. You can also limit, if I scroll down, by publication date, last 5 years, last 3 years, and you can use this from and to and open up a calendar. Find an article that looks interesting, and this one did, at least to me. Development of personalized educational computer games based on students' learning styles. I would check out the title of the journal. This one is Educational Technology, Research and Development. So education, that's what I'm looking for. It also mentions technology, which is one of the other applied sciences. Lisa is great at looking at your article and helping you determine if it's written in the language of the field. I do want to call your attention to the citing button in Summon. I would avoid using it if you have an option in the original database, and I'll show you what I mean in just a second. We're going to open up the article. Okay, I clicked on the link in Summon and it took me to the original database, which in this case was JSTOR. And, search around a little bit. I'm hunting around and I do see, oh, cite this item. So this would be the citation from the original database, which tends to be more accurate than the citation from Summon. Again, you always have to check your citations. But I open that up and wow, there's an MLA citation. Let me go ahead and close that. So I'm going to look at the credentials of my authors, and you can see they're listed right there at the top. And sometimes you need to search around the article. So I'm going to scroll down here, and in this case it's underneath the abstract. So kind of search around. It may be towards the beginning of the article, it may be at the end, it may be underneath the abstract. So I'll take a look at this first couple authors, and we have Graduate Institute of Digital Learning and Education. That sounds promising. I'm looking for an education article. And if you can't find information within the article on the author's credentials, again, you're determining that your author is reputable and you're looking at the field. I could copy and paste the author's name into Google and do some searching that way. Okay, I want to make it really clear that you need only one article under each field. But let's say I did not take that first article that I found under education. I just want to show you another example. Let's open this one up. And if you do find an article in Science Direct, there is no citing button. You can keep looking around, but you won't find one. So in that case, I would go back and use the citation from Summon and check it over really carefully. One of the nice things about Science Direct is you'll find your authors listed at the top, and you can either click on their names. This doesn't work in most databases. If you click on their names, sometimes it's just going to show you more articles that they've written. But in Science Direct, it works great. Or you can also open up Show More, and it will give you their credentials right underneath. Looking back at your sheet from Lisa, so we had looked under Applied Sciences, and we did find an education article. So that was the field we looked at first. If that didn't work, you could also try psychology. That would still be under Applied Sciences. So when you find one field under this category, then switch to another field. So I could switch into Sciences and look under the field of medicine or biology, or under business, and I could look under business or economics. If you still have your Summon search open, you don't even have to start over again. I already have full text online. I have my search terms. I have full text online selected. I have scholarly peer review selected. And I'm going to go under discipline. Remember, we were looking at education. I could deselect that and then go down here, and I could pick business or medicine and narrow in that way. Remember, just one at a time. If you don't see your field listed, right now I decided I wanted to look at a humanities, under the humanities category. If you don't see it listed, open More, and then you have your disciplines or fields listed on the side. And I decided, I've always been interested in history, so I'm going to go down here and select history. One more step, you do need to apply it. So now I've got my full text online, scholarly peer review, and under discipline I have history selected. I would select an article, and I would look at, it's from the Rethinking History Journal, so that sounds promising. I'm looking at the field of history, and then I would go ahead, open up the article, check out the author's credentials, make sure that they're writing in the field of history. And I'm just going to keep going through Lisa's lists of categories and finding one field under each general category. Quick review on Summon. I'm going to enter my search terms. First, I'm going to select full text online. Wait for the little spinning ball to stop. Next, I'm going to select scholarly and peer review. Wait for the little spinning ball to stop, and then scroll down and select one discipline. And if I don't see the discipline listed right here, remember I can open up More and select a discipline and then apply. So the last thing that I was looking at, I had looked under the general category of humanities, and I had looked under the field of history. If that didn't work out, and sometimes the first one that you try, maybe you're not going to find what you're looking for. You need to be a little bit flexible. Maybe I'm going to go ahead and try film or art and music. Thanks for sharing your time with me. And again, I apologize that I think it's pretty likely I had an older version of Lisa's handout. So when you're selecting your general categories and your fields, be sure and use the handout from Lisa, because if I'm using the older one, they're going to be different. Our contact information's on the screen. Please contact us with any questions. And you may have to be patient. You may have to try. Look at the categories, and you may have to try several fields under a particular category depending on the subject that you've selected. Thanks for watching.